'Tis the season of the Summerfest. God bless us, everyone. Here's hoping that Jeremy Piven visits you in the night and leaves something nice under your pillow, and that's the worst sentence anyone's ever said. We're on the road to SummerSlam, which is widely regarded as WWE's number 2 show of the year. And speaking of number 2, oh boy, there have been some turds in the pool at the biggest party of the summer. We'll do a top 10 best matches in SummerSlam history, don't worry, but WWE released Bray Wyatt last week, so you know, time to put the boots to the big dub and their stupid habit of doing stupid things in the stupid summertime. Everything's bad, everyone's terrible, everything you love will one day crumble to ash. Nothing matters, let's do this. I'm Adam, hailing from PartsFUNknown, and here are the 20 worst matches in SummerSlam history. Spoiler, Team WWE versus Team Nexus isn't on the list. I know, right? Because the match itself actually kind of rules. It's just an atrocious bit of booking. If you disagree with that, let me know in the comments, and hey, why not let us know your most hated SummerSlam match, and make sure you subscribe, because please do it. Gotta have one thing to be happy about. Number 20, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton 2019. Oh man, everyone really wanted Kofi's WWE Championship run to be good. Every month we'd think, maybe this is the one, this is the match. Please Kofi, please stop feuding with Dolph. The feud going into this match was solid, built on an infamous moment of wrestling, quote, getting real and legit backstage heat. Unfortunately, the match is real boring, glacially placed, thanks Randall, and ends to chance of bullshit, and the two men get counted out because I guess Randy couldn't stop looking at Kofi's kids? That's weird. And exactly a year on from AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, ending in a leave my family alone non-finish as well. Number 19, Shane McMahon versus Eric Bischoff 2003. Always a treat when Eric Bischoff wrestles in his silly little karate outfit. The man was a fantastic GM, a serviceable dad, but anytime he competed in the ring, it was the dog worst. Be it Starrcade 97, Survivor Series 2005, or SummerSlam 2003. We all know Shane can go. I mean, not now, he's a thumb now, but back then, with the right wrestler, sure, Eric Bischoff is not that guy, and what starts out as boring gets downright unwatchable when Coach heals it up and does solo commentary for it. The Austin comeuppance is at least a bit fun, but it is a long road to get there. Number 18, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler 2016. When the brand split happened in 2016, hopes were high for SmackDown. They made a huge deal out of Dean Ambrose taking the WWE title to the blue brand and marketed the show as the land of opportunity, confirmed when Dolph Ziggler, the patron saint of missed opportunities, won the right to face Ambrose at SummerSlam. This should have ruled, but instead the two wrestled a disconnected, storyless, intensely boring match. Can anyone remember one moment from this match? This match for the WWE Championship at the second biggest show of the year? Because that's damning. Number 17, Edge versus Matt Hardy 2005. WWE have a habit of, instead of striking while the iron is hot, letting the iron cool on the windowsill, forgetting they put it there overnight, and then pissing on the iron. Going into SummerSlam 2005, the Edge Matt Hardy feud might have been the legit hottest thing in wrestling at the time. It was a blood feud soaked in work shoot hatred. Their match at SummerSlam was super hyped, but instead it ended by having returning hero Matt Hardy lose in 4 minutes by technical knockout to enormous boos, shelving the proper match until Unforgiven an entire month later. Don't get excited about anything ever. Number 16, The Oddities versus Kai and Tai 1998. SummerSlam 98, the most bought SummerSlam ever, but not one single ticket or pay-per-view order was made for this giant waste of time. To be fair, your appreciation of this match is going to depend on how much you enjoy Kurgan dancing, because he does it a whole fucking bunch. It's a 10-minute match of 3 large men who can barely walk, embarrassing some legitimately great Japanese light heavyweights, with Golga pinning all 4 lads by himself. A comedy squash that somehow went 10 excruciating minutes, but hey, at least we got to see Shaggy, Too Dope, and Violent J. I don't miss the 90s. Number 15, Randy Savage versus Dusty Rhodes 1990. Not so much on the list for what it was, although what it was also bad, but for what it could have been. Former WWF champion and ultra charismatic super worker Macho Man Randy Savage versus ultra charismatic former NWA champion Dusty Rhodes. Icons of their respective territories meeting at SummerSlam in a match that went 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and was interrupted by an angle whereby Ted DiBiase purchased Sapphire, Dusty's sort of manager friend lady. Then the match began. After 2 minutes, Savage hit Dusty with a purse, and that's your lot. Oh, and Dusty wore polka dots, but then you already knew that. Number 14, The Cat versus Terry Runnels 2000. Wow. Prior to the women's revolution of 2015, women's wrestling at SummerSlam was not a thing. Seriously, Bull Nakano versus Alundra Blaze was decent in 1994. Then there wouldn't be another good women's match until Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella 20 years later. That is saying something. In fact, throughout the entire decade of the 2000s, there was only one women's singles match at the biggest party of the summer. Terry Runnels versus the Cat in a stink face match, aka the first lady to rub her entire butthole in the other's face wins. The match is a mess of slaps, stumbles, and Jerry Lawler before the Cat knocks out Terry with head and then wins. Number 13, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior versus Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, and General Adnan. 1991. After the dreadful WrestleMania 7 main event, WWE doubled down by having Warrior and Hogan team up against not one, not two, but three old-ass men in the name of sports entertainment. Adnan couldn't go, the Iron Sheik in disguise couldn't go, so Sergeant Slaughter was the agile one for the team, and great googly moogly Luke Owen's hair grows faster than the pace of this awful match that went 12 but felt 40. It was also refereed by Sid Justice. The only way that added to the story was that Sid occasionally got in the way. Lots of fun, but hey, it's not the worst tag match in SummerSlam history. That would be number 12, the Brothers of Destruction versus DDP and Canyon, 2001. In 2001, the song of the summer was entitled You DDP, one of the most enduring, lovable baby faces, as well as actual good dude humans in WCW history, was made into a stalker, destroyed by Taker at King of the Ring, pinned by Taker's wife on Raw, and squashed into neutrons at SummerSlam in a how-to guide for how to kill someone's brand. It manages to be insulting and boring. Taker and Kane making the destruction slow and painful. It's such a lifeless drubbing that after the match, Heyman on commentary starts to spin something positive out of it, saying, "The Alliance..." Forget it. Hell, you said it, Paul. Number 11, Lex Luger versus Yokozuna 1993. Quite possibly the dumbest produced match in WWE history. A match made infamous by backstage politics and laughable presentation. Hulk Hogan won the big belt at WrestleMania 9, refused to drop it to Bret at SummerSlam, dropped it to Yoko instead, and left the company. Vince then tried to build Lex Luger as an off-brand, non-union, legally distinct Hulkster replacement, but got cold feet on crowning him at SummerSlam, instead booking Lex to beat Yokozuna by countout instead, only to then go on to celebrate with a full-on f***ing in-ring parade despite not winning the title. Can someone please tell him? Please tell him he hasn't won the title. Does he know? Does he know? The match was slow-ass garbage as well. If Bret Hart couldn't get a good match out of Yokozuna, Lex Luger sure as hell wasn't going to. Number 10, Kane versus Bray Wyatt 2013. That stings a hell of a lot more now, doesn't it? Bray Wyatt has been one of the best characters in WWE in the last 10 years. Seriously. But even that doesn't change the fact that his debut match, it was a flame grilled turkey. Wyatt versus Kane in an Inferno match, Ring of Fire match, sounds like a dream on paper, but oh no, it was really boring. The whole thing took place under weird pink lighting. Bray and Kane had weird anti-chemistry, bumping into each other and fumbling a bunch of spots, and even the occasional pyroblast couldn't elevate it. It's a bad start for who would become possibly the most mishandled wrestler of all time. Number 9, Nails versus Virgil 1992. Oh, Nails, you're what are you? He turned up in WWE looking for revenge against a big boss man who apparently abused him in prison, had a digitally modulated voice that made him sound like the Claw from Inspector Gadget before getting fired for choking Vince McMahon over his payout to this match, which is one of SummerSlam's all-time worst matches. Nails was a very bad wrestler, you see. He has precisely one move, which is choking someone. He chokes Virgil, who's cosplaying as Toothpaste for some reason. Then he chokes him again. Then, just for some variety, he goes for a choke. Even the rabid UK crowd at Wembley couldn't get into this. Number 8, Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura 2017. WWE had the chance to take their WWE Championship, take it off an enhancement talent that had repeatedly proved incapable of having main event quality matches, and instead strapping it to a superstar who'd been having main event quality matches for a decade, who just pinned John Cena clean. Instead, Sing interference, Kalas, Jinder wins, handing Nakas his first main roster loss. The match is really, really boring. Jinder's got 6 moves: punch, kick, rest hold, Sing interference, Kalas, and a different rest hold. Even Nakamura seems to be sleeping through it. It's just fucking sucked. Number 7, Steve Austin versus Owen Hart 1997. An uncomfortable watch. My ass match for the IC title at SummerSlam. Hopes were high, but then Owen dropped Austin with a botched sit-out tombstone, compressed the rattlesnake's neck, and briefly paralyzed him. Then the match, terrifyingly, both stopped and continued. They didn't ring the bell because then the man with the broken neck would have to kiss Owen Hart's ass. Number 6, The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez, 1993. Cryptid Chris with the big bad fist has had some Bobbins matches at SummerSlam, some Mary Bobbins matches. I'm sure a whole bunch of you expected me to put Taker versus Taker from SummerSlam 94 on the list, and that's pretty boring, but the hokey panto bollocks just about pulls it through. This, on the other hand, Taker's still being shackled to a feud with this weird skinned Bigfoot motherfucker. It sucks. Punches, slow walking, and bad selling the musical. Thank God at least a dead man decisively won so we could all put Double G behind us. Number 5, Big Cass versus Big Show 2017. How humiliating. The Big Cass versus Enzo feud was one of the worst feuds of 2017, with WWE splitting up yet another tag team only for them to barely feud and neither man getting over. First, Big Cass demolished Enzo at Great Balls of Fire. Then Enzo called in a bigger friend to fight instead, classic babyface, and Cass wrestled Show at SummerSlam with Enzo suspended in a shark cage for no other reason than apparently Enzo was scared of heights, so him. The match sucked, with the crowd deathly silent throughout, and then the one spot of the match, Enzo taking ages to escape the cage and get into the ring, ended with him immediately kicked and knocked out. Like the match itself, what was the fucking point? Big Show's worst SummerSlam match since the one in 2010 where he beat the Straight Edge Society all by himself. That match was also terrible. I've had to watch a load of really bad SummerSlam matches for this. Number 4, Triple H versus Eugene, 2004. In 2005, Kurt Angle wrestled Eugene stiff as a brick and it was an uncomfortable watch, but at least it was 4 minutes. In 2004, Eugene wrestled Triple H and it went 14 minutes. Jesus wept. The match is a nightmare, with the Toronto crowd having none of Eugene's bollocks, roaring "Eugene sucks" as the commentators have to try and pick apart why Triple H is being cheered for beating up a disabled person for, once more with feeling, 14 minutes. A real gross watch. And speaking of, number 3, Jake Roberts versus Jerry Lawler, 1996. Jerry Lawler is a WWE legend, but all of his SummerSlam matches have sucked. Lawler versus Taz, that whole Lawler, Brett and Doink thing. Or this slow-moving affair where Lawler spends the entire match offering known substance addict Jake Roberts bottles of whiskey to not fight him. Roberts has stated in interviews recently that he hated doing this storyline, branding Vince an asshole for forcing it on him, and yeah, it is f***ing rough to watch. That, and also dull, right down to the finish, which saw Lawler hit Roberts with a bottle right in front of the ref and not get disqualified. Number 2, King Mabel versus Diesel, 1995. The worst match at the worst SummerSlam in the worst year in the history of WWE. That's an achievement fit for a king. Like, half the matches from this card could have made the list, but it would have gotten duller than the show itself. Bertha Faye versus Alundra Blaze, Smoking Guns versus the Neo-Nazi Twins, the Blue Brothers, Bret Hart versus the f***ing Dentist, Undertaker wrestling Karma for 15 goddamn minutes, but the main event managed to outboring them all. Mabel wearing his Burger King cardboard crown, awkwardly transitioning from unsafe move to unsafe move, with Diesel doing his best to try and wake up the comatose crowd. Look, Diesel jumped over the ropes. What are you doing, Diesel? Before Mabel then jumped on his back and injured him, to the point where you could actually hear, you can still hear it on the network, you can hear Diesel shouting at Mabel because he just jumped on his back and f***ing nearly broke his back. It's easily the worst main event in SummerSlam history, but while Mabel is the king of SummerSlam matches, someone else is God. That's number 1, the Great Khali Trilogy of shit. 2007, 2008, 2009. It takes someone truly special to have the worst match on a SummerSlam card 3 years on the trot. In 2007, Khali fought Batista in a horrendous match that saw the crowd die after repeated chops, lame pin attempts, only to end in a rubbish DQ finish. In 2008, Triple H couldn't drag something passable out of him as the crowd screamed "You can't wrestle" at him throughout multiple rest holds. In 2009, Khali wrestled Kane in a shitty 6-minute plodder in front of another dead crowd. God bless you, Kane, for bumping for him. God bless your weird heart. And in 2010, WWE finally saw the light, preventing a four-peat by pulling Khali from the SummerSlam main event at the last minute, replacing him with Daniel Bryan, which is like replacing a bullet to the stomach with a cheeseburger. 3 years, Great Khali. Thanks a f***ing packet. And that's our list. What's your least favorite SummerSlam match? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video around if you did enjoy it. And while you're at it, why not subscribe to PartsFUNknown for more very silly wrestling content? Jam that jam.